All right, part 3. So I'm going to take this opportunity to show Cozy Twitter, which is only going to live for 3 days, but it's still a cool project. So yeah, this is my Chrome. This is Chrome extension, and I got a new tab, which adds different tweets. This is a custom UI, and these are tweets are from people kind of in my network who I follow, and then people who are my mutuals, and people I also follow that interact with more. So there's this, the exact algorithm I'm not going to talk about because it's my super duper secret, but these tweets are more correct for me than the Twitter algorithm. And this is done on the client side with fairly minimal API calls. Also, this is pretty funny. Who's at home playing with the algorithm? Yes. Okay, I can go back to For You. And there's also wonderful tweets. But all right, let's go to the ranking section. So this is kind of the big questions here. Serve relevant tweets. The goal of For You timeline should be to make society better, make you a better person, and to improve social cohesion and not to destroy your mental health. If serving relevant tweets is good for that, that's good. But if something is failing in the pipeline, that means this definition of relevance is probably bad. Okay. All right. So we're continuously trained on tweet interactions to optimize for positive engagement. Likes, retweets, and replies. Okay. As I've mentioned before, retweets and quote tweets should be tweeted differently. They're a different signal. The simplest change would be to just remove quote tweets from retweets and don't even count them out, basically. The ranking mechanism, thousands of features and first 10 labels to give Twitter a score, where each label shows the probability of engagement. Okay, let's look at the, no, this is the light ranker. Let's look at the heavy rank. Okay. Ranking of tweets after candidate retrieval and light ranker. Note the final order of the tweet is not directly highest to lowest scoring, because after scoring, other heuristics are used. What is this? Why is this a fact? How much change is there from highest to lowest? Like, assuming this heavy ranker is good, which is maybe a false assumption, but assuming it is good, this seems like a bad patch on top of it. Like, how different is the highest to lowest scoring? Like, are we tweaked a couple things, which in case it maybe doesn't matter, or is this like we're interleaving bad results with good results, basically? Like we're completely ignoring the ranking. Like it's unclear to me how big of a change this is, and if this is a big of a change, it's probably a bad idea. So what Twitter could be easily accused of, which may be true, I don't know, depending on the situation here, is instead of optimizing for ungraded user minutes, what you would be doing is giving you bad results in between the good results to train you to scroll more. I haven't seen evidence of this happening. But if this is like very different from the heavy ranker's original ranking, then this is evidence of that happening. Not necessarily inadvertently, but maybe by mistake. But like optimizing every tweet for engagement is different from optimizing the timeline for engagement. Optimizing every timeline for engagement is likely worse and wastes users' time. That's basically the situation. Okay, but assuming this is not happening. So is favorited? Great, love it. click into conversation with a tweet and like reply tweet. Sure thing, very good. The probability user will click into conversation with this tweet and stay for at least 2 minutes. Okay. Okay, let's talk about this between a search engine and a social media. So a search engine is is not a destination site. Search engine is a kind of a gateway. It's like an airport. You go there, you go somewhere else. Okay. If you spend a lot of time at the airport, that means the airport is bad. Okay. If you spend a lot of time at a museum might be good. So different places have a different notion of whether time spent there is a positive factor or not. Search engines are correct in evaluating time spent there as a negative. Like, you click, you get out, you're out of the search engine. Congrats, the search engine succeeded. Okay, I know this has worked for Bing. This is how I think about this correctly. Twitter is interesting because it's kind of a social media, so it's kind of a destination. It should be more like a museum, so maybe spending more time there is good. But also, it's kind of like a portal where you can go to other sites and click links. And do you want to evaluate the moving away from the site as positive, like a search engine is? That's not clear. All that said, this feels wrong. This probability that the user will click the conversation and stay there for at least 2 minutes feels like an inferior version of like and reply a tweet. It's not clear this is capturing positive interaction. Like, if the person is staying for at least 2 minutes but not liking and replying tweets, maybe this is negative interaction. Maybe they hate it. Maybe they're hate scrolling. Maybe they're doom scrolling. If this is not happening, so I would remove this. I think this is bad. I think this is kind of encourages you to waste time without positive things happening. Negative feedback. This is correct to track this. The probability user opens a tweet of author profile, likes, replies to a tweet. This is not good. Like, why is this here? Like, this is a heavy ranker, which is ranking both tweets that are out of the network and in the network together. I don't open tweet profiles very often for people who I already know. Like, maybe some people operate that way, maybe some people don't, but the assumption, this feels like a thing that wrongly boosts people you don't know in your feed over people you do know. Like, this feels like it would break the kind of contract of, people you already know is what Twitter is supposed to be about, primarily. And then people you don't know, maybe occasionally. Like, this feels wrong to me. Delete it. Probability user replies to a tweet, fantastic. Is reply engaged by offer, fantastic. Is report tweet clicked? Sure, you need to figure it out. Is retweeted? Again, you need to treat quote tweets differently from retweets, but okay. Probability that the user will watch at least half the video? Sure. I mean, this applies for short videos, but okay. Okay. For ranking the candidates, predictions are combined to a score by weighting them. Okay. Favorite, 0 Hive. Is click into the conversation of this tweet. This would be much better as a table, by the way. Like, what the name is, what the explanation does, and the score. Okay. This is so confusing, guys. Come on. I write blogs with more effort than this. Yeah, so 11 is the score for either the favorite or replied, or your descended v2, which is the stay for at least 2 minutes. Again, I think this is not good. It's also 11 is kind of a high score compared to half. Like, this is kind of weird. That favored feels like it should be higher. But okay. It's negative feedback, negative 74. That's a very large number compared to other numbers, but okay. Profile click, profile engage. Again, this is very high. It's like, okay, maybe it's close to 0. It's like this is one of the highest I've seen so far. The other ones are higher, but this should be 0. It's bad. Is replied? Sure. Is reply engaged by offer? This is very high. This is very strong, and I don't mind this being that high because it's biasing towards conversations. It's biasing towards you reply there and the author likes it. You had a wholesome reply. You're a reply guy. Congratulations. Sure. Tweet report clicked. Again, a very large number. Negative. Sure. Is retweeted 1. That feels too low. Like spending 2 minutes looking at it is 11 and retweeting is 1. Like, why? Retweeting is a very strong signal. Like, it's like, okay, fine. If you have quote tweets in this retweeted, then this should not exist. So because you have quote tweets, the fact that this is 1 actually ends up correcting the mistake. But okay, fine. Video playback, sure, it's very small. So, okay, let's go meta here. What do these numbers come from? What are they? What's the process by which we arrived at these numbers? Okay, so I have no idea. I'm going to make a very educated guess. This is very likely, is that these numbers are A/B tested. And they're A/B tested and somebody changed it, move this up 1, and then move this down 1, and then tried this on a bunch of users, and then something happened, and things changed. This brings the question of what are the criteria that the A/B tests use to alter these numbers? Like, also, what is the selection criteria to put people into A/B tests is also an interesting problem. Like, this is very easy for a search engine. You just put some people into a test randomly. That's fine. But for social media, if you put some people into a test and change their engagement pattern, then do you put the whole community into a group and another community to another group and then look at how they change? Or do you kind of select randomly from different communities and see what happens? This is a hard problem. I think putting a whole community into an A versus B test is probably the more correct thing, but it's tricky. You have to be careful with what you're doing. So the big question is these numbers. So some of these features are good, some of the features are not good. These numbers sort of make sense, aside from the stay at least 2 minutes and like the author profile. Yeah, so, and then the other question is, okay, these numbers are here, but how much does the final ordering actually matter?